best from the one we never had. I will never know your pain. Then I walked away. The hidden fears start to unfold as stories are told. You will never see me cry unless you tell a lie. Yeah, now I'm falling in love with you again. Yeah, now I'm drowning as I know that we will never be the same. Fall in love again. We'll keep falling till the end. Nothing left to say, but now I walk away. Fall in love again. It'll be just you and me. Yeah, the best.
South African Proteas Women's Cricket Team captain Laura Wolvaardt, an extremely gifted person, a straight-A student, a composer, an artist, the cricketer with the most elegant cover drive in world cricket, and an astute captain. She's one of the reasons South Africa has fallen in love again with the Proteas. Incidentally, that's the title of the song that the 26-year-old Bachelor of Science graduate composed and performed while in matric at Parkland College in Cape Town. And this is the song that you're hearing in the background, A Woman of Many Talents. Now, as you know, South Africa, today the Proteas women's cricket team will be looking to create history as they take on India in the final of the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup in Mumbai. They are, of course, playing in their first ever World Cup final in the 50-over format and can become the first senior national side, men or women, to win an ICC World Cup. Now, to look at the game and what this moment means for the Proteas team as well as South Africa and for the growth of cricket in South Africa, I'm joined by Edward Khoza in studio, who is the Cricket South Africa Executive for Domestic Cricket, and respected commentator, analyst, award-winning journalist Khanyiso Tshwaku joins us as well virtually. A very good morning to you, gentlemen. Edward, I'm going to start with you because for the past 7 years, one would say you've been heavily involved in looking at the development of cricket in the country. Tell me what this moment means for the work that Cricket South Africa has done and the investments that have been made.
I think thanks very much for the opportunity. I think today opportunity means destiny. I think in 2013 when I sat down after joining Cricket South Africa with the coach then Hilton Moreng and the selectors, we actually had to pave a way to say, how can we conquer the world? And when we sat down at that particular time, we had no resources. We had an unprofessional cricketing team. And we had to more or less look at the squad that we had. And when we calculated at that particular time, we said if we look after these young ladies at the time, 10 years from now, we probably will be in the position to be able to box and conquer the world. And if you look at the last 5 years or so, I mean, the ladies have reached 5 semi-finals in a row at ICC events. And this is the third final in a row at the ICC event. All on its own, it's a big opportunity for us. And they've grown in leaps and bounds, and they've taken this game to another level, irrespective of the retirements of some of the key players along the way. But consistency in performance has always been essential. And this has inspired the young generational cricketers that wants to come and take up bat and ball. And we saw this when we were in the first final in Newlands in 2023 in the T20 World Cup. I mean, they played in front of the full capacity crowd at Newlands. That was the first and the beginning for us. And that was the birth of professional cricket here at home. So cricket is no longer a game. It's a career option for the young ladies out there. So we have 6 professional teams below the Protea side and that are doing cricket on a daily basis, and which actually propels us to be able to ensure that we bring up consistent performances at world stage. And today, it's one of those, like I said, it's opportunity meeting destiny. And as if everything as predicted before, this is our moment.
Opportunity meeting destiny, that's according to Edward Khoza. Khanyiso, I want to bring you into the conversation because Edward mentions the 2 back-to-back T20 finals for South Africa as finalists, unfortunately falling short there. Let's speak to this journey in this particular World Cup co-hosted by India and Sri Lanka, because you look at how it started for this South African Proteas team And a lot of people did not give this team the chance to say this is a team that could be meeting with an India in the final. Let's talk to that aspect and how it really has been the underdogs that have risen to the top.
Good morning, guys, and good morning to the viewers. I mean, remember, tournament sport is generally about how you finish and not how you start. And yes, it was a bit of a difficult start with that 69 all-out in Guwahati, losing by 10 wickets, 215 balls remaining. That set back the run rate. And what was very evident from South Africa after that was they just needed to win and worried about the other dynamics later, and that's exactly what they did. And I think, again, tournament sport is about knowing when to peak or trying to know when to peak. And if one looked at the order of the semi-finals and how they went, firstly, you'd find that an event like women's sport, like women's cricket in particular, does need a first-time winner. And that's exactly what you'll get when the finals kicks off. It starts at 11:30 later this morning. And the fact that these are two countries who, over the past 10 years, have put in a gradual to increasing investment in women's cricket, and it's starting to pay off now. I mean, England, Australia, and to an extent New Zealand had a massive head start in the 70s and the 80s, but that would speak to how women in those particular societies were treated. And then you'd find that in the 90s, early 2000s, and until now, India and South Africa started to invest in women's cricket. And I mean, if you look at how, as Edward points out, how the investment in women's cricket has then correlated with the upturn and upswing in performance for the women's team, this being a third consecutive final. It shows that the moment there's a plan and there's money put behind the plan, there are results because there is the talent. So they, as they rightly say, preparation has met opportunity, and that now means destiny actually stares South Africa in the face, where they're able to march forward with that destiny, having prepared for the opportunity, will be decided over the course of the 8 hours from 11:30 today.
And it will be a very exciting one. Edward, I want to know from you, what is your message that you want to give to the team right now? And perhaps incorporate that with the message that you have for the young girl child that's sitting at home. You spoke about the 6 players that have contracts currently, because in general, most times when we look at women for sport, it's just a nice thing to do, but never looked at as a career. Speak to that element for me as we begin to just wrap up.
Yeah, thanks. I first need to pick up from Khanyiso's message. I mean, when you look at the first game that we lost, and then when you look at the second game as well against Australia, that symbolizes the type of style that we want to play. We want to play this aggressive cricket, and I need to apologize to the nation, because when it doesn't come together on the day, it looks a bit ugly and it feels like we're underprepared. But this is the type of positive cricket we want to bring and play. And I think what is very vital for us is that when you look at where the team is at the moment, we're in a good space. And the issue with us just reaching the final in its own. I mean, we planned this thing long time ago, and we said when we come to moments, let's just be present. And this is what we're calling for, that the nation is behind them, and they just need to make sure that they absorb the moment and grab this one for us to be able to make sure that we're waiting for them at OR Tambo. Because the dynamic since that 23 T20 final has completely changed. The young ladies that are inspired, they're not only asking us to say, where can I get a bat and ball? They're always asking us to say, how do I get a contract to be able to make sure that I can live my dream and all that? And it's through the inspiration of people like your Laura Wolvaardt, your Mlabas of this world, Tasmin Bress, for example, who we took back then from where she was not working in cricket. And as everybody knows her story and all that, we took into when the coaches identified as someone who potentially could win World Cups for us. And we brought her into the space. And when I look at, especially this season, on her alone, being the first female to score 500s in one calendar season speaks milestones on its own as an opening batter for us. And I think it's worth the investment that we've made. And I must credit the coaches that had the eye to be able to say, management, let's put money on this lady. She will be able to bring silverware for us. And she's done that very proudly. And lastly, I mean, when you look at your likes of Malaba, I mean, they give hope to the majority of the young ladies in the dusty streets of the various townships and rural areas. I mean, where they come from, initially it was a journey where it was 5 hours for practice. And as Cricket South Africa, we made a small intervention of taking her and putting her 10 minutes from Kingsmead from an accommodation perspective. And 6 months later, she made the national women's team. And what we see now we're living the fruits of that intervention, and we wish them very well for the today.
Indeed, we do. Just before we run out of time, I do want to get your quick thoughts, Khanyiso, very quickly, just in terms of looking at that tactical battle between South Africa and India, looking at the quality of players on both sides.
No, today's game is practically between the ears, the great matter between the ears. The occasion demands that the teams need to be mentally ready for this game. I think we've seen over the tournament that their strengths and weaknesses have been on show. They know what they can do. They know how they want to play. It's just a case of now who can hold the bit between the teeth for the full 8 hours. I mean, you see South Africa have shown their resilience. I mean, India in the semi-final chased down the highest target. I mean, women's ODI cricket. South Africa, through Laura Wolvaardt, absolutely destroyed England. So it's just a case of now the grey matter between the ears. Who's going to be able to hold the nerve through the 8 hours and ensure that they succumb to pressure the least?
Oh, Khanyiso, South Africa for the win, yes or no?
South Africa for the win.
South Africa for the win, Edward?
South Africa all the way.
Oh, South Africa all the way. We are certainly back in the girls. They take on India in the final of the ICC Cricket World Cup. And before we do take a break, let's take a quick look at some messages of support from ordinary South Africans ahead of today's encounter.
Yeah, I think it's been really, really good cricket, apart from obviously the first match. The girls have all put their hands up. It's been different performers every game, and I think that's been really exciting. So you don't actually know what to expect in the final. I think the journey's been really nice and exciting to follow. And yeah, I think after that first match, it was all uphill from there.
Obviously, we've been representing in MMA, rugby all over the place, men's cricket as well. So I really think it's a good thing that the women are doing a great thing for the country as well. So that will mean very good for South Africa at the end of the day, and we'll just show them what we know and what we're made of, 100%.
I feel that we are going to bring home the cup and that we are 100% going to win it.
Super proud of the ladies. They've done exceptionally well, and I think they're giving the men's team a run for their money, you know. So looking forward to the game. Hopefully the ladies will win.